Hello guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to continue talking about food. So first, I want you to think about this. What happens to food when it expires in a supermarket? Please pause the video and write down two ideas. Now, how much food do you think is wasted around the world every day? Please pause the video and think about this. Okay guys, now I want you to read these sentences and think about this. What do the words in pink mean? For example, number one, farmers harvest the food when it is ready to be eaten. What does harvest mean? Harvest means to pick up the food from the ground or the trees so that it can be consumed. Now pause the video while you think about the rest. Okay guys, now we have some supermarkets reject food when it is not aesthetic, and aesthetic means it uh, that it looks good. Okay, so in this case, when food doesn't look good, supermarkets reject it. Now, number three, when a child is undernourished, he usually gets sick. So undernourished means that he doesn't have the right amount of nutrients because he maybe is not eating that much, or the food that he is consuming is not good. Four, there is a glaring disparity between rich people and poor people in Guatemala. So a glaring disparity, it's an obvious and easily seen difference, okay? And the last one, in some hospitals, there is not enough supply of medicine. So in here, what supply means is in the stock or the reserve of medicines that the hospitals have in this case. Okay, guys? Now let's continue. I want you to please go to your student book, page 66. Read the article. What is the main idea of the story? Please choose the correct option. Pause the video to work on this, please. Okay, guys? So the main idea is food waste around the world. Okay, guys. Now I will ask you to please read again and work on page 67. Here you have to circle the correct option to complete the sentences. For example, the fraction of food produced in the world which is wasted or lost. Is it a quarter, a third, or half of the food? Please go back to the article on page 66 and find the answer. Pause the video while you work on this. Okay, guys? So let's check. Number one, the fraction of food produced in the world which is wasted or lost is a third. The value of food wasted or lost globally per year is 990 billion. The percentage of adults classified as obese in the United States is around 35%. The number of apples thrown away around the globe every day is 10 billion apples. The number of people who could be fed with the food wasted or lost in Latin America, it's 300 million. Okay, guys, very good. Now think about this. In your opinion, what is the most alarming data from the text? Why? Pause the video while you think about this. Okay, guys, now I want you to please answer these questions in your notebook. Pause the video to work on this, please. Okay, guys, now what I want you to do is to think about this. What would be a good way to prevent food waste? We don't want it anymore. So, what are some good options to reduce it? Please pause the video and write down 3 ideas in your notebook. Okay, guys, we're going to share this in class, so let's continue. Now, I want you to please read these sentences I have here and find similar sentences in the article on page 66. For example, we have the first one. The study found that people most commonly wasted fruits, vegetables, fruits, and suburbs. Now, which sentence has the same meaning in the article? Please pause the video while you think about this. Okay, guys. So, Now we're going to check our answers, okay? So we have 45% of fruits, vegetables, fruits, and tuberous is lost or wasted. On average, 10 billion people apples are thrown away every day. 80% of all fish is thrown directly back into the sea. 39% of food in Canada, New Zealand, Australia, and the US is wasted in part because it is past its use by date. And roughly $990 billion of food a year is wasted or lost. Now, looking at these sentences, I want you to please identify the doers, or who does the action, the receivers of said action, and the verbs. Pause the video to work on this, please. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and check. In the first sentence, we have our receivers and our verb. In this sentence, we don't have a doer, so let's continue. In the second sentence, here is our receiver of the action, our verb, receiver, verb, receiver, verb, receiver, and verb. Okay, guys, so if you see in none of these sentences, I included the doers of the actions because in here they are not that important, okay? Now let's go ahead and continue. I want you to please read the sentences. On average, 10 billion apples are thrown away every day. 80% of all fish is thrown directly back into the sea. Which of these options is correct? The sentences focus on the doer of the action instead of the receiver, or they focus on the receiver of the action instead of the doer. Now, what is the main structure that you see? Please pause the video while you think about this. Okay, guys, now let's check. So, these sentences, they are in passive voice and they focus on the receiver of the action and not on the doer of the action. Why? Because maybe we don't know it or it is not that important. But what we care about is the object or who receives this action, who is affected by this action. Now, the structure that we are going to use is object, verb to be, and past participle. Now, it's important here that we notice that the verb to be is the one that is going to be changing. If we have a sentence in simple present, then verb to be is going to be in simple present, like here, are thrown is thrown. But if we were talking about something that happened in the past, we would use was or were. So what is going to be changing is the verb to be. Okay? Now let's go ahead and practice. Let's go to student book page 145. Here we're going to write passive sentences. We're going to use the word by plus the agent or the doer if you need to mention the doer of the action, if you know it. If it's not mentioned here, we are not going to use it. For example, my brother made that chair. In this case, my brother could be a little important because he's the one who did the action. We should write that chair was made by my brother. If you see, I am since this is in past, I am using verb to be in past was and the participle made by my brother, the person who did it. Pause the video to work on this, please. Okay, guys, we're going to check the rest of the sentences in class. Guys, this is the end of the video. I will see you soon. Bye bye.